Good morning everyone. I am Apeksha, Assistant Professor in Indraprasth Law College. So today we are going to, this is the second lecture on the topic marriage, Muslim marriage, and today we are going to do with muta marriage and iddat period. We have already understood, we have done with the kinds of marriages and the definition, the nature. So let us start with what is muta marriage. Now, as you know that nikah in Muslim law, it is defined to be a contract which have its object. What is the object of that contract? For legalizing of children. And we did the essentials for a valid Muslim marriage, which are the capacity to contract marriage, proposal, acceptance, ijab, qabul, and so on. Now, today we are going to do muta marriage. So the very first line tells you, sums it up. What is a muta marriage? It is a temporary marriage. So the word muta word means enjoyment. The word muta literally means enjoyment or use. So it is a marriage for pleasure for a fixed period of time, which is known as temporary marriage, because the marriage is for a fixed period of time. Time period is fixed, therefore it is called a temporary marriage, and it is no permanent marriage. The second point which is important, that it is only recognized in Shia law and not in Sunni law. So muta marriage is recognized in Shia law and Sunni law doesn't recognize it. Right? Now a Shia of the male sex may contract a muta marriage with a woman professing the Mohammedan, Christian, Jewish religion, or even with a woman who is a fire worshipper. So see, in nikah, which is a normal in a normal marriage, you can marry, the very essential condition was both have to be Muslim, or one can be Muslim and other can be Kitabiya, and that Kitabiya is Christian or Jewish religion, but she should not be a fire worshipper, right? But in muta marriage it says that a Shia male can have sex with a Shia, I'll repeat the line, a Shia of male sex may contract a muta marriage. That a Shia male may have a contract of muta marriage with a woman who is professing all of these religions, or even with a woman who is fire worshipper. But this is not the same with any women following any other religion. So it is only for the male sex. But a Shia woman cannot contract a muta marriage with non-Muslim. Alright, so this is only recognized in Shia law and not in Sunni law, and muta marriage means a temporary marriage. The very literal meaning of muta is enjoyment, use. ये एक फिक्स टाइम पीरियड के लिए होती है, इसलिए इसको टेम्पररी मैरिज कहते हैं, और एक परमानेंट मैरिज नहीं होती है. अब इसके कुछ एसेंशियल्स हैं. फोर एसेंशियल्स. पहला, द पीरियड ऑफ प्रोहिबिशन शुड बी फिक्स्ड. प्रोहिबिटिंग पीरियड जो होता है वो फिक्स होना चाहिए. डावर शुड बी फिक्स्ड. जो डावर है वो भी पहले से ही फिक्स होना चाहिए. और अगर इफ़ डावर स्पेसिफाइड, टर्म नॉट स्पेसिफाइड, इफ़ डावर स्पेसिफाइड, term not specified, then it could amount to permanent or regular marriage. So if the term of dowry is not specified, it will amount to the permanent or regular marriage. वो temporary marriage नहीं रहेगी. एंड इफ टर्म फिक्स डावर नॉट स्पेसिफाइड, अगर वो स्पेसिफाई ही नहीं करा है तो वो वॉइड मैरिज हो जाएगी. सो द डावर टर्म हैज़ टू बी स्पेसिफाइड. डावर शुड बी फिक्स्ड एंड स्पेसिफिक फॉर म्यूटा मैरिज. अदरवाइज अगर टर्म नॉट स्पेसिफाई नहीं करा है तो वो या तो परमानेंट मैरिज बन जाएगी, और अगर करा ही नहीं है डावर स्पेसिफाइड तो वो वॉइड मैरिज हो जाएगी, विच इज़ ऑब्वियस. These are certain 4 essentials of a muta marriage. Now the terms of muta marriage, see, it must be specified. Duration, क्या किस ड्यूरेशन तक के लिए म्यूटा मैरिज रहेगी वो भी स्पेसिफिक होना चाहिए. कितने दिन के लिए, कितने वीक्स के लिए, महीनों के लिए, साल के लिए, जो भी है. और अगर ड्यूरेशन स्पेसिफिक नहीं है तो वो मैरिज परमानेंट मैरिज होगी ऑफ मुस्लिम मैरिज, राइट. So these are some essentials of muta marriage. Now moving on to, this was very short and simple as to what is a muta marriage. These 4 are essentials, and remember this point that it is only recognized in Shia law, not in Sunni law. Moving on to what is iddat period. What is a iddat period? So iddat period, idha or iddat is an Arabic term which means period of waiting and is observed by Muslim women. So it means it is a period of waiting and is observed by Muslim women. It is a period of chastity which a Muslim woman is bound to observe after the dissolution of her marriage due to the death of her husband or by divorce before she can lawfully marry again. The reason behind observing iddat period is to ascertain whether the woman is pregnant or not and to acknowledge certain paternity. So, understanding this, it is a period of chastity. Now, what is chastity? It is that state, or it is it is a practice in which you are refraining from any extramarital. You're refraining from having sexual intercourse. That is a period of chastity, which a Muslim woman is bound to observe in 2 cases. First, when her marriage is, there is the, after the dissolution of her marriage. Now, dissolution of her marriage in these 2 cases, by death, either the husband is dead or if by divorce. So before she can lawfully marry again, she need to observe this period of chastity. We call it iddat, the iddat period, a period of women, a woman where she is waiting for. Now the reason for this waiting is to ascertain whether the woman is pregnant or not. In order to ascertain whether she is pregnant or not, she need to observe that. Now, in case of dissolution of marriage by divorce, if it is by divorce, not by death, that is after the consummation has taken place. Now, the duration of iddat period is of 3 months. So, at least 3 menstrual cycles are essential to observe whether a woman is pregnant or not. Alright, so as menstrual cycle takes place once in every month, so the duration is of 3 months. And if during this time she becomes pregnant, then her period of iddat would extend till the delivery of her child. So this is the whole concept of iddat period. And if a marriage is dissolved and consummation has not taken place, then the divorced woman is not required to observe iddat, as there is no chance of her being pregnant, right? So this is a case where marriage is dissolved and the consummation has taken place. Only then she will have to observe this iddat period. Now in the case where death of the husband, the marriage is dissolved by the death of the husband. If a marriage is dissolved by death of husband, then the widowed wife has to observe iddat for a duration of 4 months and 10 days. And in this case, it does not matter whether the consummation took place or not, but just she has to observe this iddat period. And the same thing, if the woman becomes pregnant, then she have to her iddat period extend till the delivery of her child. And the period of this iddat begins from the date of actual divorce or the death of husband. Since there her iddat period starts. Now there are many cases over iddat period, over maintenance, not specifically iddat period, but yes, it was involved in maintenance. When we will do maintenance, we will do the case of Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shah Banu Begum. Then it's a landmark case over maintenance. Then Dana Latifi case, and so on. So hope you understood what is a iddat period. Iddat is a practice that Muslim women perform to ascertain pregnancy and parentage of a child born of such pregnancy. Before she gets legally into another marriage, she need to observe that period so that she can ascertain whether she is pregnant or not, and the parentage of that child born of such pregnancy. Now, according to Muslim personal laws, a husband is required to maintain his wife only during the iddat period, and after the commencement of iddat, the woman is on her own. Now, this is what I was talking about in Shah Banu case, where Supreme Court went against the convention and allowed the maintenance even after the iddat period. So it was very controversial. The Muslim, there was furor in the Muslim community, and a new law, Muslim Women Law, that was a Divorce Act, came. We will do it in maintenance, which nullified the Shah Banu case, but later Supreme Court interpreted it in favor of wife only. So that is the whole thing about iddat. The important point is, what is a iddat period? So whenever a marriage is dissolved by death or divorce, the woman is prohibited from marrying within a specific period of time. That period of time is called a iddat period. So that's it. That is all about iddat, right? In the next lecture, we will be doing about, we'll start with the dissolution of marriage, and after that we will also we'll start with the dissolution of marriage, which is an important part of the syllabus. Thank you.